not be the one to doubt us. 'Cause we've been putting in the hours. We only taking what was ours. So you
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Some serious pride on the line in this contest as these two divisional rivals take the field together for the first time this season. Almost a playoff atmosphere surrounding the game between these two bitter opponents. It's the Panthers going up against the Saints. With that, let's get you out to the Bayou. We're standing by as our commentary team of Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are down on the Bayou as you get a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Today, we've got a Week 6 matchup for you here between the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And, Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Panthers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So here are the defending NFC champs on offense now. They'll be led out by the former Auburn man, Charles, hard to believe, already in his 6th year now, Cam Newton.
And every eye in the stadium goes to him as soon as he appears, doesn't it? There are very few players that have that type of effect. Doesn't matter whether he comes out for warm-ups, or he's come out for the game, to start the game the first time on the field. All eyes on number one, and rightly so. He may be the best player in the game.
Stewart is the lone setback. He'll get the football here. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Craig Robertson in on the stop. And what about this offense, Charles? Specifically, what about Jonathan Stewart?
He makes sure everything goes. Put the ball in his chest and watch him run. Can run with power inside, but has enough speed that when he gets outside, he can cause a lot of trouble.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. A dump off here to Stewart. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out in the flat and let them have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
Newton. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism.
But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. And here we get a look at Stewart down on the ground still. Hope this isn't anything serious. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And now a look at the Saints starting defense.
Manti Te'o continues to evolve as a linebacker. Known for his ability to cover the pass coming out of college, he's added excellent run-stopping ability along the way.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They'll run again here with Artis Payne. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted.
And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Sheldon Rankins, the rookie from Louisville, in there to record the second sack of his young NFL career. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And not great starting field position here for the offense. And the former Heisman winner, this is Mark Ingram. And some space here. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram, 92 yards. And the Saints have taken the early lead. Well, from back where that one started, they were hoping probably for just a few yards on the ground there. Instead, they get 90-plus and into the end zone.
And as much credit as I have to give the guys on offense, I often think when I see a run of that magnitude that there has to have been a mistake made, maybe even multiple mistakes on defense, because you're expecting them to run the ball in that stage from that stage of the field. Instead, it turns into one of the longest runs that we're going to see in the NFL.
The field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away.
Punting the football away, it doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover, and wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Now flags with... And a neutral zone infraction on the defense.
The defense thought they had the timing count on the quarterback's cadence, but they jumped too soon.
Here's Newton. Over the middle here to Brown. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 15 more, and it's another for move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well. And most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it. A one-yard gain could look like a disaster, but all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of one-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional one-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've hit the end. Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession. They need to get this to the 24 on third down. fake the handoff. Now Newton. He's got time. Trying to lay, and that'll be caught. Panthers touchdown. It's Benjamin with a grab. Kelvin Benjamin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game. Well, there was a little extra pressure with that one because it was 3rd down. He didn't care. He snagged it with one hand like it was routine.
The key is to make a play in a tough situation. Doesn't matter how, and in this case, one-handed gets it done. Terrific play for us to watch.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking, now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Here we go.
On the direct snap, Ingram fighting through. And he's brought down. 13 yards there on the pickup. And it'll be 1st down, Saints. And the ball carrier there, Mark Ingram, in his 6th season now with the Saints.
Yet to have a 1,000-yard season, but any guy who wins the Heisman Trophy, you know the potential's always there.
Yeah, but you're right. Yet to get to 1,000. Had 769 last year in 12 games. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They come up with one back. That's Ingram. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. He's able to rattle off 6. The play fake to Ingram. Now it's Breeze surveying the field. And he's got the AFC leader in receiving yards last year, Antonio Brown.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. 10 yards still left on 2nd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. He was looking for Mark Ingram there, and it's 3rd down.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Oh, it's the Wildcat. This is Ingram. On the ground, it's Michael. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Breeze. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Thomas Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved. defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Now Artis Payne. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, so far, this game has gone the way the defensive coordinator had hoped. They've dictated things. They've not let them run the ball very well at all. They gave up a nice game there. I doubt it'll back off their confidence. They've played so well throughout this entire game.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. Here's Newton. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Now a first down throw for Newton. Finding time. He'll hit Whitaker in the flat. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on, you heave one deep when you catch them close to the spot. We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. 2nd down here. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll go down at the 28. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Gano's kick is right through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once they're back towards the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
They come out here in the I. On 2nd down, Ingram. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
And the Panthers bring in their nickel set as they try to defend here on 3rd down.
5 defensive backs. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to float this one deep. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked by the rookie, James Bradbury. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. A final shot before the break. Newton. He's going to float this one deep right. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked up by the safety, Jarris Bird. And he will be brought down as time is... And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36.
Illegal blocking the ball. Return team.
They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. And he's got room. And he'll cut it to the right sideline. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up second down. And they're going to speed things up here.
Let's go.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Here we go.
They'll run it here with Michael. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now this time, Breeze will throw. Over the middle here to Brown. 23 yards on the play. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Throwing on first down is Breeze. Forced out to his left. And some room to maneuver. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Now Breeze throwing on second. Now Breeze lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. The field goal unit's going to stay put on the sideline. They're going to go on 4th down here. They'll run for it. It's Ingram. Mark Ingram unable to get past the marker. And the Panthers will get the football back. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play.
Yeah.
But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the 3rd quarter.
whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front. And an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the two defensive tackles in a four-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
They'll come out in the pistol. Artis Payne, a beautiful fake. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. They're trying to establish that running game, but they're really, really having trouble, aren't they? Yeah, when you're running against a really good 4-3 defense, that means you've got big guys inside who control things. Those big defensive tackles are making it very difficult to find open space. Throwing is Newton. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. It was the safety blitz that ultimately did the job, and they're going to credit him with a sack. Here's Andy Lee now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. I don't think that was a blitz, was it? No, not at all. I mean, there was no blitz called on the play. Had other responsibilities, but he saw an opportunity, saw a path, and he took it. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around? In any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again. We'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one. No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play? And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep. I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Mario Addison in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good. Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. They come up with one back. That's Ingram. Breeze now. And Cooks hands it over the middle. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Breeze to throw on second down. Man open left side is Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Breeze going to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Breeze to throw again. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Hill, his first touchdown on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front here in the fourth quarter. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a two-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. The Panthers offense here, they get ready to head back on the field, and they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Newton now to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Throwing on third down, Newton. That's caught inside the 20. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Again on the ground with Artis Payne. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll run it with Artis Payne. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll try the air now with Newton. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Time starting to run out here in the 4th. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. Here's Artis Payne. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Now the Panthers get set, 3rd and goal.
And the defense has to account for Cam Newton on this play.
Time for a break. So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. Now Newton on 3rd and goal. He's got time. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Sheldon Rankins in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
And Godot's kick is right through. And with a little more than a minute to go, we are all tied. So now then, it's a big kick there to get this game back to even. Now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal could still do you in.
Brandon, we're going to see right here. I would expect that after the kickoff, this offense is going to come out throwing. So those first few plays are going to be the key.
Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. So as you see the numbers, a very uncharacteristic start, but he's been more characteristic as of late.
And usually we're seeing a very good start out of him because, let's face it, he's one of the best out there. But when
and this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. Second down here after the incomplete pass. They come up with one back. That's Ingram. Here's Brees to throw. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Cuts it out to the sideline. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
Let's go.
Now a handoff. It's Christian Michael. Oh, he's got a little daylight. There he goes, right side. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the fourth. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Brees is going to throw. And he's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the two-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts, passing versus running on two-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball on a two-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
And trotting back out there now, this Saints defense. And they'll see if they can get one final stop with this crowd behind them.
And let's face it, as much as we want to say it's all about the guys on the field, they can get some help right here from the home crowd. And they're going to try their best to get them motivated, get them involved. But they're going to need to make a play or two in order to keep them in that spot.
The crowd's making some noise now.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And that takes us from second to third down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Saints, they moved back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Panthers, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And now they'll head to the bye week as he'll be back in action in Week 8. So that'll do it.
There are men, and there are giants. Bass and stills in the building, flash the camera. I'ma drop the hammer. Things done changed, the hip-hop sizzle and Bobby out the slammer. Hip-hop start on the East Coast, then it move west, now down to Bama. I'ma bring it back to New York, hold those, then throw your hands up. Pass me a cup of the club with the juice in the get bent out. Then I'ma slide with it to my ride and head up to my penthouse. Oh, I'm not trying to take it slow, working hard, cake and dough. Open up 24, we striving for that goal. I'll stop for nothing, I will play this game that's so easily started, not so easily parted. Giants, everything is shaking through the walls, 'cause we are giants, Heart of David, you know it takes just one, and it's time. CNN, this is Ghetto Editorial. See me like milk and Oreos. Dipped inside the audio, platinum plaques in my portfolio. My lines are finest, they blow your mind like you could do what you wanna do, whether group or solo. Boston cold with a bowl of chili. Summer cheesesteak on the roll in Philly. I'm a patriot, don't do a hatred. If you make that beef, I'll smack you silly. Back on up on this. Before you with this, you better walk up and off the building up. Yes, oh, got the heat up the show. Raise up the thermometer. I'm gonna take full control. Hey, Paul, let him know. I'll stop for nothing. I will play this game that's so easily started, not so easily parted. Giants, everything is shaking through the walls, 'cause we are giants, Heart of David, you know it takes just one, TR. Novus ordo seclorum, e pluribus unum. They changing climates and replacing humans and fracking soils while bulldozing forests. But they can't defeat us, they could not destroy us. Are we dreaming the same dream of money, guns, and gasoline? For the average team, CFOs are after cream. GMOs extracting genes with everyone on my TPA. Everything is shaking through the walls, 'cause we are giants, Heart of David, you know it takes just one, yes, son.
Left field, call it. Babe Ruth, ball it. Your boyfriend's got a cauliflower, and I'm a. So sue me. Who you, Judge Judy? Stacking the rubies. If life was a movie, then you could just call me the Goonies. You're not relevant. Trolling on the internet. No respect. Haven't moved out of your parents' basement yet. Big neck. Coming with the beat that's gonna break your neck.
You can hear me now.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? If you like it loud, we can make it loud. Can you hold it down? 'Cause we can hold it down. Yeah, you can hear me now. bass into your earlobes, like your bleached out hairdos. We glowing in spark, about to flare the fuse. That's just how we do. To Geronimo.